Our preliminary task helped us get familiar with using a variety of editing shots as well as using different camera angles. The following video clip is a scene from our task.
I've been expecting you.
Get your hands away from me, you mug.
So you did, you know? So what you did?
What did I do, man?
I'm delivering, you know?
What did I do?
I'm gonna deliver.
I'll make sure no one hears about it.
What are you gonna do about it?
You'll see what we can do about it.
Ever since the preliminary task, we have gotten familiar with how to use the camera, what kind of editing techniques to use, as well as the sound that should be included in film openings. However, since the preliminary task, we've also had a lot of challenges. The fact that we had to film everything in one day was really difficult, as we were in a school, we're only students, and we didn't have much experience on the different camera techniques and editing. Another difficulty we had was to maintain the continuity between the scenes because we had to keep everything in the same place. Moreover, we were only experienced with basic shots such as long shots, mid shots, close-ups, and extreme close-ups. The purpose of this task was for us to get familiar with certain camera techniques as well as editing techniques, and we were taught how to use the 180-degree rule. Having a positive team 24/7 was also quite difficult, as we would have disagreements or there would be certain problems with the schedule. However, we managed to overcome these problems by planning things in advance. Here you can see our group members: me, Shanaz, Imran, and Tajul. Another factor that was lacking in our preliminary task was the use of a storyboard, and this changes a lot of things because we don't have no structure. Moreover, we had no titles. During the period of the preliminary task, we weren't aware of the software Motion in order to make titles. In comparison to our preliminary task, we have now learned that we know more about editing, more about sound, and more about camera work. We've identified that with much more research into these certain techniques, we have much more knowledge. Through the progression of the filming for our opening, we have come to terms with the importance of camera angles. For example, high-angle shots have certain connotations of vulnerability and inferiority. The shot generally makes an individual look powerless and less dominant, whereas low-angle shots make an individual look very dominant and powerful and strong, and has connotations of superiority. From this research on the certain camera techniques, we have identified that different camera angles can create different meanings for the audience as well as the portrayal of the character. We have also learnt that by framing things towards the left or the right of a shot instead of the center creates a more interesting atmosphere. In our preliminary task, we had a conversation between two characters. However, for our film opening, we decided to have no dialogue whatsoever in order to create more intrigue for the audience. For our final film opening, we had doubts as to whether the narrative is too limited or not. However, it actually worked to our advantage. During our preliminary task, we didn't even consider lighting. However, for our film opening, we did, and we wanted to create an eerie and suspenseful atmosphere which matches to our genre, thriller. Location was also another challenging aspect for our film opening. During our preliminary task, we shot it in the school, which was limited as we weren't allowed to go out. However, for our film opening, we decided to choose a domestic environment, which matches our genre, since a lot of thriller film openings and films take place in an isolated area or an area where the protagonist is alone. In regards to editing, we wanted our film opening to be very slow in order to create the right amount of suspense. Therefore, we decided to go with smooth and unnoticeable transitions in order to create that kind of effect.